It was a gray November morning in Seattle, the kind where the clouds hung low and the streets glistened with last night's rain. Commuters passed by with coffee in one hand and phones in the other, lost in their daily rhythm. Nobody noticed the girl sitting at the edge of the bench near Fifth Avenue and Pine, not at first. Her name was Emily Green. She was 21, a community college student juggling two jobs, a biology major trying to keep her dreams alive one midnight shift at a time. Her hoodie was zipped up tightly, arms clutched to her chest, trying to stay warm against the wind. Her jeans were damp at the knees, and her shoes looked too thin for the cold. She had skipped breakfast again, not because she forgot, but because there was no money left this week for both food and bus fare. The morning crowd around her blurred. Her vision started to tilt. Her stomach cramped, sharp and unforgiving, and something warm began to spread down her leg. A hot panic clutched her throat. She glanced down. Blood, a lot of it, and then everything went dark. "Miss? Miss, can you hear me?" A voice, steady and young, broke through the fog. There were hands, gentle but firm, checking her pulse, brushing the hair from her clammy forehead. She stirred, barely able to lift her eyelids. The sound of sirens echoed faintly in the background. Emily opened her eyes just enough to see a man kneeling beside her. He couldn't have been much older than her. Black scrubs, navy jacket, stethoscope peeking from his pocket. His eyes held something strange, something you didn't often find in people anymore. Concern, real concern. "She's hypovolemic," he said quickly to the paramedic. "Looks like abnormal uterine bleeding, probably from anemia or a clotting disorder. She needs fluids and pressure immediately." Emily tried to speak, but her mouth was too dry. Her eyes fluttered shut again. Dr. Jason Taylor had been out for coffee. He was a second-year resident at Seattle General Hospital, just grabbing his break when he saw the crowd gather at the bus stop. Something in him, maybe instinct, maybe training, maybe fate, had pulled him to her. He didn't know her name yet, but something about the girl reminded him of someone from long ago. When Emily woke up again, it was a blur of white, clean sheets, machines beeping, a warm for in her arm, and a doctor, him, sitting beside her, scribbling notes. "You're at Seattle General," he said, without looking up. "You collapsed. You lost quite a bit of blood." Emily tried to sit up. "No, I have class and work. I can't." "You're not going anywhere right now." He met her eyes finally. "You nearly died." Her eyes welled with panic. Not at death, but at life. Rent, bills, finals. Her little sister back home, who still called her every night. "How are you paying for your prescriptions?" Jason asked gently, already knowing the answer. Emily looked away. "Do you have insurance?" She shook her head. He exhaled. "I'm not going to lecture you," he said. "I know what it's like to go without. But you have to know you're not invisible." Those words hit her harder than the four in her arm, because invisible was exactly what she had felt for months. Jason didn't tell her at first, but he recognized her. It wasn't her face. It had changed with time. It was a locket around her neck. He had seen it before, 12 years ago, on a snowy December evening outside a school cafeteria in Yakima. He was 10 then, scrawny and bruised from yet another fight. His dad had just gone to prison. His mom was gone. He had no lunch money. And a girl, tall, kind-eyed, maybe 9 years old, had quietly walked past and dropped a warm peanut butter sandwich wrapped in foil onto his tray. She'd smiled once, then disappeared. That girl was wearing that same locket. He never forgot her. He still had the foil, tucked in his old Bible, with a childish heart drawn on it in purple pen. The hospital kept Emily for 2 days. Her labs confirmed a severe case of iron deficiency anemia and a rare clotting disorder that explained the heavy bleeding. She had ignored the symptoms for too long, blaming stress and overwork. When the discharge nurse came with the bill estimate, Emily went pale. Jason stepped in before she spoke. "She's on our community relief fund," he said smoothly. "Case number 219, covered under emergency student hardship." The nurse raised a brow. Jason nodded firmly. And just like that, the bill disappeared. Emily didn't know what to say. "Why are you helping me?" she asked, her voice thin with emotion. Jason smiled. "Because once, someone helped me when I had nothing, gave me food, gave me dignity, and I never got the chance to say thank you." Emily's brow furrowed. Jason stood to leave, but paused at the door. "Do you remember a boy at Yakima Elementary? Winter? Cafeteria?" Emily blinked, and slowly the memory rose. "You had a black eye," she whispered, "and no gloves." Jason nodded. Neither of them spoke for a moment. The room seemed to fill with something softer than silence. Gratitude, recognition, full circle grace. Over the next few months, Emily's health improved. Jason helped her enroll in the hospital's outreach program for uninsured students. He found an NGO that covered her meds and connected her to a support group. But more than that, he reminded her of her worth, that she wasn't just a student. She was a survivor, a fighter, a healer, too. 1 year later, Emily walked into the very same hospital, not as a patient, but as a volunteer. She'd switched her major pre-med, said she wanted to pay it forward. Jason was waiting in the lobby. She handed him a sandwich wrapped in foil. He smiled. She smiled back. And between them, without words, passed 1,000 unspoken truths. Epilogue. That winter, Emily launched a student-led health drive to educate low-income students on symptoms they often ignored. Jason became the keynote speaker at her college fundraiser. Together, they created a scholarship for young women in crisis. And every Friday, without fail, Emily left a sandwich in the break room at Seattle General, wrapped in foil, with a purple heart drawn on top. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness echo for years. A sandwich, a glance, a voice that says, "You are not invisible. In a world where everyone is rushing, be the person who stops, who sees, who remembers." Because the circle of compassion doesn't end. It comes back stronger, fuller, and more beautiful than before.